If the thought of rolling hills, regal interiors, and stately architecture excites you, honestly, who doesn't it excite? Consider your next vacation to include a stay in a luxurious castle hotel. Each beautifully manicured property has a story to tell, from the castle of Ristorante, which was once used as a fortress to defend Florence, to the British Cliveden House, a not-so-modest gift from a duke to his mistress in the 17th century. Yet, not all of the castles on our list are from a distant epoch. Take the Kentucky Castle, for example, which was built in 1969 by a couple inspired from their recent trip to Europe. Whether surrounded by bucolic countryside in Ireland, the UK, or Italy, sprawling vineyards in Portugal, or the dense forest of Colorado, one thing is for certain: the views will be sublime. Here are 7 luxurious castle hotels we recommend for your next trip. If nothing else, go for the opportunity to peer out of the windows into romantic storybook settings. Number 1. Adar Manor, County Limerick, Ireland. Located in the countryside village of Adar, Adar Manor is a 19th century Gothic revival castle hotel. Situated on 840 acres of land, each of the 104 guest rooms is decorated with 19th century artwork and mahogany furniture. Take in the view from your room, which overlooks the front manicure gardens, the River Meg, or the championship Tom Fazio designed golf course. For relaxation, head to the castle's state-of-the-art La Mer Spa. Practice dance moves in the Grand Ballroom, or eat your fill at one of the castle's 4 culinary destinations: the Oak Room, Drawing Room, Tack Room, or Carriage House. It is now the Adar Manor Hotel and Golf Resort, a luxury hotel, and contains the Michelin-starred Oak Room restaurant. The first mention of a manor on the land is following the Norman invasion of Ireland. In 1226, King Henry III gave a grant to Justiciary of Ireland Geoffrey de Moray to hold an 8-day annual fair following the Feast of St. James at his manor of Adar. The lands subsequently were granted to the Earls of Kildare, members of the Welsh-Norman Fitzgerald family who came to Ireland in 1169. In 1536, the Act of Attainder was passed against Thomas Fitzgerald, 10th Earl of Kildare, whose lands, castles, and manors were forfeited to the crown. Number 2. Landell's Mohican Castle, Loudonville, Ohio. Located in Ashland County, roughly an hour northeast of Columbus, Landell's Mohican Castle is a sight to be seen. Built in 2002, all of the castle's hardwood floors, trim, cabinetry, and doors were milled from trees on the property, and the stone used on the castle was retrieved from piles cleared by some of the first settlers of the area. You can stay in one of the castle's 11 suites and, while there, exercise in the property's indoor pool. Number 3. Castle Ristorante, Tuscany, Italy. Located next to rural farmhouses built in the 12th century, the Castle of Ristorante was commissioned by Italy's famous Medici family. Throughout the 14th century, the castle was a strategic point of defense within the Florentine territory. Today, however, guests let down their guards as they're treated to the marvelous accommodations within the castle. The Royal Banquet Hall has high arched ceilings made of red brick and walls of stone, where you can still see the engravings of the stonemason symbols from when it was originally built. Castle de Ristorante was commissioned by Italy's famous Medici family in 900 AD, and this 1,000-year-old castle is still watching over the gorgeous Tuscan hillside landscape. Its rich history shows throughout the property with signs of monks, wars, and stonemasons. When you walk up to the mighty castle towering above you and through the large iron gate, you're welcomed into a cozy reception area filled with dried herbs, their own olive oil, honey, and local wine. From there, you'll enter the breakfast room with a wood-fired pizza oven built into the stone walls. Number 4. Cliveden House, Berkshire, UK. Built in 1666 by the 2nd Duke of Buckingham as a gift to his mistress, the Cliveden House is where Meghan Markle stayed the night before the royal wedding. The castle is sprawled across 376 acres of the National Trust Gardens on the banks of the River Thames. The Orlais and Chateau Italianate mansion allows guests to partake in soothing treatments at the Cliveden Spa, request a luxurious champagne tea time experience, and charter a vintage houseboat for a cruise down the Thames. Located some 30 miles from central London, the castle is a good option for those who want to get away from the bustle of the city, while not feeling too far from the action. Cliveden House was initially built in 1666 by the 2nd Duke of Buckingham. A notorious rake, schemer, and wit, he created the house as a hunting lodge where he could entertain his friends and mistress. Since then, it has twice been destroyed by fire, only to emerge, phoenix-like, more stunning than before. Number 5. Posada Castelo de Óbidos, Óbidos, Portugal. The medieval castle of Óbidos was erected by D. João de Noronha in the early 16th century. Designed in the Manueline style, a Portuguese late Gothic aesthetic, the 16th century palace was carefully recovered from the effects of the area's 1755 earthquake. Today, each of the 17 rooms are each named after a king or queen. They feature whitewashed walls, four-poster canopied beds, and Manoline touches like azulejo-tiled bathrooms and arrow-slit windows with views onto the surrounding windmills and vineyards. Number 6. The Kentucky Castle, Versailles, Kentucky. Set among farms and sprawling bourbon distilleries, the Kentucky Castle is a luxurious bed and breakfast. Built in 1969, this medieval-style structure is completely enclosed by a stone wall with 12-foot wooden doors and turrets on a 50-acre estate. The castle boasts 12 luxury rooms and 4 chalets with suites at the outermost corners. Each chalet is furnished with a kitchenette, whirlpool soaking tub, and a terrace overlooking acres of farmland. Get outside and engage in a game of tennis or basketball on the respective courts. Also visit the on-site billiard room, library, ballroom, and Castle Farms restaurant. When you hear the name Versailles, you probably imagine the French city or the Grand Palace. But what if we told you there was a city and a castle in the middle of Versailles, Kentucky? A large plot of land with a remarkable stone creation rests in the heart of bluegrass country, just waiting to be visited. Number 7. Glen Eyrie Castle, Colorado Springs. Nestled next to Garden of the Gods Park, Glen Eyrie is home to over 800 acres of stately pines and whispering aspen, waterfalls, and majestic sandstone rock faces. Glen Eyrie's rooms range from hotel-style standards to premier castle suites. Adventure seekers can book electric bike tours through the Garden of the Gods in Glen Eyrie or hike one of the 16 available trails on the property. The area is rife with wildlife too, and nature lovers have a chance to catch glimpses of wild bighorn sheep roaming the grounds. The original Glen Eyrie was built in 1871 by the founder of Colorado Springs, General William Jackson Palmer, and his wife, Queen Palmer, who, at age 21, opened the first public school in Colorado Springs. Sitting on their 800-acre estate, the castle was the couple's dream home. It was remodeled in 1881 with the addition of a tower and made to resemble a stone castle in 1903. But that's it for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, drop us a comment, and we'll see you next time.